Hello everybody, my name is Pandora West, also known as New York City Mother, the legend of ballroom, or in ballroom rather. And today I wanted to sit and talk about my story and kind of just share a few things about myself while I'm doing my nails. So I'm working on my nails as I'll be talking to y'all. So if y'all see me talking or looking down or any of those things, it's because I'm working on my nails while I'm talking to you guys, because I genuinely want to begin to share my story with the world, because I feel as though that me being a woman of trans experience, I feel as though that the world has this narrative of us, and we are not all the same, just like you guys are not all the same. We're our own individual person and everybody is different. But yes, I moved to New York City in 2000 and I want to say I moved to New York in 2019. Actually, I moved here April 30th, 2019. Prior to me moving to New York City, I went through so much. First 6 years prior to moving to New York City were learning lessons and different experiences that I've experienced from people and stuff like that. And if you're watching this and you hear something or a story, or you were part of, whether it be my traumas or you were a part of my life at that time, I don't want you to take offense to what I'm saying. This is not about you. This is not about what we went through. This is about me just sharing my story and being able to show the world that you're not alone. And there are people out here who have went through similar experiences just like you or like someone else, that we're closer to each other than we actually realize. So that's the point of me making these videos. And I also stream as well. I stream on Twitch. All my platforms are all the same. Except for Facebook. My Facebook is Pandora West, but everything else is all the same. I do stream video games and stuff like that. I don't have a set schedule just yet, but I am going to be working on a set schedule and be going from there. Moving forward, boom, I want to get into it. So prior to me moving to New York City, 2017 is, I feel like, where a lot of it began for me. It was Memorial Day weekend. I think it was like the 23rd or 22nd. It was, or the 23rd or the 24th, I'm sorry, of Labor Day weekend 2017. I was supposed to be going to DC, as I had been doing, and it was because I always had a good time at DC Pride. I will be having videos and clips of different moments, and I'll be kind of like in the background talking here and there while my videos will be playing either here or in the corner or wherever it's at on the video. But I just wanted to let you guys know that as I have so much footage that it's going to take me a while to get all of this out, so I'm going to do it in parts and try to break it up so I can share my story with the world. And this will be one of many videos. I've kind of started a little bit on my Instagram page. If you want to go to my Instagram, you can see some of my stories that I have already shared and some of my experiences and things of that nature. I'm very upfront and very raw. I don't really hide anything, because again, I'm not ashamed of anything I went through. I am human just like you're human, and I feel like our experiences is what makes us. There are some things I will take to the grave, however, there are a lot of things that I feel like can be shared so that other people can learn from your mistakes. I read somewhere that it says, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from the smart man's mistakes. I truthfully believe that to be factual, but that's here nor there. So boom. So like I said, we went out to the club that night, and I was so upset and I was angry because I felt the type of way, because I was just like, oh my gosh, we're supposed to be going to the club right now in DC, but we didn't get to go that year. So I was upset. I had an attitude. And so I kind of was like, not like angry drinking. Well, I guess in a sense it sounds like that now that I'm saying it out loud. So what ends up happening is me and all my friends that were supposed to go, we all ended up going to the club that night in our city. And so when we went to the club, we ended up going to the club, and as we're going to the club, we had to stop by the liquor store. Well, prior to us stopping by said liquor store, I already had a bottle of 1800, the big one that I was finishing up anyway. So I started drinking that first. So as we're driving down to the liquor store, we're drinking the bottle. I throws the bottle out the window, whatever the case may be. We goes to the liquor store. We buys Grey Goose. They didn't have the big bottle of what I wanted. So I was like, okay, whatever. I never had Grey Goose. Wrong fucking decision. I wish I would have never did that. But we bought a small thing of Grey Goose. He poured me a cup. One of the people in the car poured me a cup. I drank the Grey Goose. The cup was about that big. This much was Grey Goose. So I'm drinking it and it's straight. I drink my liquor straight. So I was drinking the liquor straight. So I'm already off to a bad start. Drink the liquor straight. Next thing I know, we get to the club. I still got about that much liquor left. They're like, oh girl, we gotta go in. So I throws it back. Keep in mind, I had already been drinking tequila before I even started drinking the Grey Goose. Boom. We go in the club. I'm turned up. I'm having fun. And mind you, I have the video. Here's the video right here. So boom, that happened. I was drinking, turning up with my girlfriends. I ran to one of my girls. She got a blunt, so we smoking. Now we outside on the patio. We smoking weed. I'm smoking, chilling. I ended up getting me some more drinks. Don't ask me what I had bought or what drinks I had. I don't remember. We had the drinks. That was what it was. Had the drinks. Next thing I know, I'm like starting to feel myself get dehydrated. So I see one of my girlfriends. She's drinking. She has a water bottle. I'm like, oh, I need some of this water in a water bottle. But I snatched it and started just drinking it. She's like, oh my God, no, that has Molly in it. I'm not a person who does Molly. That's not my thing. I don't have nothing against people who do whatever drugs they do. They do, that's their business. But Molly is not something that I'm into. And quite frankly, it was something I had never had before. So I had drank that. We ended up smoking some more, drinking. I was drinking liquor. And then at that point, I started to find myself blacking out because they told me that I was snatching drinks out of people's hands and was drinking them. First of all, let me tell you something. My auntie always says, God protects babies and fools, because you know what, snatch my drink out of my hand, we're gonna have a problem. Well, granted, we're still gonna have a problem, but depending on if I realize how they drunk they are, I might be like, girl, and like deal with them later. So I was snatching people drinks out their hands. And it was so bad. I was so embarrassed because the next day I ended up talking to people about it. And they was telling me, and I had to apologize to the people who drinks I snatched and all that kind of stuff. Boom. But we ain't getting here yet. We still on the night of. So, mind you, I'm drinking, throwing the drinks back, blah, 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 blah. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, something's wrong. Like, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. So I'm about to tell my brother, take me to the car. He takes me to the car. I will never forget this day ever in my life. This will be a core memory that I will always have. So he takes me to the car. I'm in the car. Keep in mind, I have on this little mini skirt. My hair is all cute. I got my little cat ears on. This little black top and this mini skirt. And mind you, every time I wear that mini skirt, I always get it's always some shit going on when I wear that mini skirt. Like I'm always in trouble or some weird shit. So boom, that happens. So we're outside. I'm outside now. I'm in the car. Now I'm hot. I'm like, oh my God, I'm hot as fuck. I get out of the car, pacing back and forth. I can't, I'm like, at this part, I'm like, I feel myself overheating. And I'm assuming I snatched my wig off, and tossed it because I couldn't breathe, or I couldn't see, And then at some point, I just was like so tired of fighting, and I just let go. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a nap. Keep in mind, I'm in 6-inch pumps with a platform outside in the gravel, up under a freaking, because the club sat by a factory, so it was a bridge, and it's set up under the bridge. So I'm standing under a bridge where mulch and the rocks and shit is, and I am literally like, oh, I'm gonna take a nap, and just kind of gave up and let go, and collapsed out on the pavement. Keep in mind, when that whole situation happened, I instantly, as soon as I felt myself fall asleep, I instantly crashed. And I woke up somewhere else. Now I want to go into detail about where I was and all that kind of stuff, but consciously, I was not here anymore, because there's no way you're drunk and out of your mind and incoherent, and then 2 seconds later, after you collapse, you're conscious and you're sober. So I knew I had just taken myself out. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm like, what happened? Like, this was not supposed to happen. Like, how did I get here? You know what I mean? Like, how did I get here? So that happened. So in the midst of that, sitting there, to be honest, when I collapsed, before I collapsed, there was nobody outside. I remember seeing 2 people walking across the street, which, if they ever see this video, I just want to say thank you so much for calling the police, or whoever called the police, whoever seen me collapse outside and called the police, because I was by myself and no one's around me, and that was not something that I intentionally was doing. I was going outside with the intention to have a good time, and I was having a good time until I started getting a hold to things that I should not have gotten a hold to, which was my fault because I was just being reckless and not being intentional in what I was doing. So that was on me. But when that whole thing happened, I never forget, because I was just sitting like consciously like, where am I? What is happening? Like blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying? All of that. Out of nowhere, I started to hear, like, I don't even know what I was hearing originally, because I'm just like, what is that? Like, because I was confused, like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? So as I began to focus on what I was hearing, or what I was trying to, I was focusing on it, I started to zone in, and I realized it was my baby daddy voice, my best friend Jordan. I clocked it. I was like, oh my God, that's my baby daddy. That's Jordan. And as soon as I said that was Jordan, it's so funny because I literally, like, I will never forget this day. I'm like, as soon as I heard, I'm like, oh, that's Jordan. And it came to me like, oh my God, I know who that is. I instantly felt myself seep back into my body. Like, literally, I felt myself seep back into my body. And at that point, because at first I was sitting up, because I had got up and was like, oh my God, where am I? And then eventually I felt myself seep back into my body. And at that point, I felt myself laying on the ground in the gravel. I could feel the gravel. I could feel myself laying on the ground. I could hear everybody around me. Keep in mind, like I told y'all, there was nobody around when this whole situation first happened. There was nobody around. There was nobody near me. None of that. I was by myself. When I came back into my body and I felt myself come back to my body, I literally laying on the ground, and it was the paramedics. My son said that the paramedics, the police, and the fire department was there. And it was people surrounding me because I could hear them. I was not able to open my eyes. And for like the first 5 to 10 minutes, I was a vegetable. I could not move. I couldn't do nothing. All I could do was think. And in those moments, I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, please don't let me be like this for the rest of my life. Like, this is horrible. And I wouldn't pray that on anybody. Actually got me up off the ground, and got me in the car. And mind you, I'm here, all I hear is my baby daddy screaming and yelling and shaking me, telling me to get up, and I couldn't do anything. Like, literally, I couldn't move my face, I couldn't move my mouth, I couldn't move my hands, my arms, nothing. I was just laying there. And again, I don't even know how long I was laying there for, because like I said, again, there was nobody outside when this first happened. After the fact, there was mad people outside. Thank God nobody was recording, but it was just bad. And so they told him I was unresponsive, and it was this whole little thing or whatever. But you know, after that day, I never really, like, I still drink and stuff and party, but I'm very cautious because I don't want to ever experience that again. But what I will say is that I'm thankful to have had him, because to be honest, I didn't hear anything else. Like, if it wasn't for that, I probably would not be here. So, boom, fast forward 6 months later, my baby daddy, my best friend, he dies. His god sister got shot the day before he died. 2 days before he died, I think. He was mourning over her, and it was just a lot going on. And he ends up getting into a car accident, and I was on the phone with him an hour and a half prior to him getting into the car accident. And he was like, I'm okay, this and this and that. And he died 2 days before my birthday. He died January 12th. My birthday is January 14th. And when I say that was the worst year of my life, like, bittersweet. It was a lot. Like, I must say, it was a lot. And I'm thankful to say that I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still able to be who I am today. And I'm thankful for that, because this has been a journey, and I'm still dealing with things. You know, I spent my birthday pretty much alone outside of my roommates. I was staying with 2 people at the time. So my birthday, my son came and saw me. My roommates cooked for me and made me stay downstairs and not let me be by myself for my birthday. So we did go outside. I cried, I yelled, I was upset. I enjoyed myself. I did spiral a little bit. I did a lot of drinking and stuff. And it took me a long time to get out of that depression, because for months I was just like, I was so mad at myself because he was able to save me and I wasn't able to save him. And prior to him passing away, I knew something wasn't right. And I kept saying it. And I kept saying it, and I kept ignoring my intuition. And the funny part about it is that I was so fixated on not losing my job where my benefits were that I didn't go outside with him to be with him when he needed me. And the funny part about it is I still lost all of it. I ended up losing my job. They ended up firing me and everything. So boom. Fast forward from that one to, him passing. Later that year, West was created in June, July. Like, it was a whole thing. James called me and was just like, oh, we're leaving the house. And so at that time, I was just like, it was so bothering for me because that's all I had left was Con. Like, at the time, like, I had just lost everything. Like, I lost my best friend. I lost my baby daddy. That was my everyday. We were together every day, all day. And so for me, I was just like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? Like, no, this cannot happen. He said, oh, just wait, stay by the phone. I'm working on something. Boom, time goes on, West is created. So now I'm a West at this point. We ended up going to New York City in January of 2019. I always wanted to move to New York. And you know what the funny thing about me moving to New York is that I always felt like my soul was calling me to New York. I don't know why I felt like that, but I just genuinely always felt myself and my soul and my spirit was desiring to be in New York. Like, I just was always meant to be here. And so when the whole situation had happened and we came to New York, I was so excited because it was the one place I always wanted to be. So at this time, prior to us leaving to go to New York, I was working at White Castles and I was working at Supercuts. And so as I'm working at both places, I was good, well off. I had my car. I was doing what I needed to do. It was like, cool. New York was everything I wanted it to be. And it was so funny because I remember I missed my bus that day because I was crying. I didn't want to leave. I was not ready to go. But I didn't know how to catch the trains. And at the time, I was getting on the C train trying to get back down to Chinatown. But I didn't realize I had got on the wrong train because back then I didn't know nothing about trains. It was confusing. And so, and this is just for people who don't know. Use Google Maps. Google Maps will show you how to get around New York City. It tells you how to get around. I ended up missing my train that night. I ended up having to stay at my sister's house for a night. She let me stay with her. I ended up going home. I called my job at the salon and let them know what was going on. And then I eventually went home the very next day. When I tell you I got home, I got to work. I missed my flight, my bus Tuesday. I got back on the bus Wednesday. I got home Thursday and had to work. I got home Thursday or Friday, I think. I think I had to work that Thursday. Yeah, I did. I worked Thursday. And I got to work on Thursday. She tells me, we're closing the salon. You can't tell anyone. You're not allowed to tell anyone due to protocols for whatever reason with the company. And that basically they're closing the salon and the salon will be closed by the end of next week. Keep in mind, rent was due next Friday. And so she was closing the salon. I couldn't tell my clients, allegedly. And she cut my hours. So then I didn't even have enough money to pay my rent for the next month. But let me pause and just tell you how God is always on my side. And will always be on your side when you are good and you're doing what you need to do. So I didn't have the rent money to pay my rent for that next week because my job. And me and my boss at White Castles were going through it at the time because she was just who she was at the time, and I was not tolerating disrespect, and I wasn't kissing nobody's ass. I don't give a fuck who you are. Respect is a two-way street. And I'm very nice. And yeah, let me tell you about God, how it worked out for me. So mind you, when the whole situation happened, prior that year before in 2018, the landlord, and it's so crazy because I was so upset at the time, the landlord had sold the company so we were under new management, and when it was time for me to renew my lease, they weren't doing leases for the year 2019. So I didn't have to worry about breaking my lease to have to move out, because once they told me that I couldn't tell my clients and I had to basically start over and rebuild my clientele all over, I said, I'm out of here. I'm not staying in Ohio. I'm not doing this. Baby, I'm leaving. I am out of here. If I gotta start all over, I'm starting over in a city where I want to be at, actually want to be at. So I gather my things. And I let them know that I was going to be moving out at the end of April out of my apartment, and I would have the rent money for them sometime in March. I explained to my situation because I could have just went back to White Castles, but I did not want to be there and work full time because I did not feel like I was appreciated. I would work 40 plus hours and do overtime, and I was not getting paid the amount of money I felt like I should have been getting paid. And it was just one of those things where people were taking advantage of me because I was so nice. And that's one reason why I don't work for people now, unless they respect my workmanship and actually pay me what I feel like what I deserve, or willing to work with me in that sense. And the manager at the time was not willing to work with me. It was this other lady. My other boss, she loved me, but she got transferred and we got a new GM, and so me and her started to get bump heads. So I was just like, yup, I'm out. So I ended up doing what I had to do. I got on the road, made my money, took care, hustled up my money, the money I needed to do what I need to do, and then I put my 2 weeks in at my job. Actually, I put my 2 weeks in my job before I left. And then I went on the road and did what I need to do. Made my money, made enough money for me to get to New York and for me to be able to sustain while I was there until I found another job. And then I eventually moved to New York City, April 30th, 2019. My mom and my family had a going away party for me and gave me money and stuff like that, and just kind of wished me well. April 28th. And I'm posting pictures here so you guys can kind of just see as I'm talking about this and everything. And I was just so happy and so thankful because I really was like, I gotta go. Like, if I have to start over somewhere else, I want to be somewhere where I feel like I'm safe, I feel comfortable, I'm excited, I want to grow, I can network, I can build, I can be me, I can do what I need to do, all of those things. I can grow as a stylist, all of that. And so, for a very long time, it just was like, I never thought I would ever make it to New York. And it's so crazy because me and my baby daddy, the time that I moved to New York City was the exact time that me and him were supposed to move to New York City together. I got to New York, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Oh, boom. And one last thing. So mind you, I was planning on transferring my job from White Castles up to New York when I came back up there. Keep in mind, I worked doubles for this lady. I did doubles. I would come in when she needed me to come in. I would stay later. Let me tell you something. I came in on my off day. Literally, this is why I don't work for people anymore, because people take advantage of you. I came in on my off day to help them with I want to say they had 1,500, and I have the video. Actually, I'm going to post that too so y'all can just see it for yourself. I came in on my off day to come and do 2 hours because the White Castles I worked at was in Sharonville, and it was a lot of construction workers, UPS workers and stuff like that would order big crates of work for their companies and stuff like that. So we got an order originally of like 750. I want to say, no, they got an order of like 550 or something like that. And then they got an additional order of 750 sandwiches. I'm talking about White Castle sliders. And she called me like, can you come in and work? I was like, yes, I can come in and work. Boom. Came in to work. I came in that day. I ended up staying 4 hours because they ended up ordering even more burgers. I want to say we made over 750 on a grill ourselves on alone that day. When it was time for me to put my 2 weeks in, I politely put my 2 weeks in. I worked all my days. I missed the very last day, and I told them and told the manager at the time that I was going to be able to work all of my days except for that last Friday because I was leaving town and I had to go. And do you know that she put me on a do not rehire list for White Castles? But I'm going to tell you something. Some things are blessings in disguise because I get comfortable easily, and I probably would still be at that White Castles today. Well, depending on how it was, I probably would still be there. I would have never did what I needed to do for myself. And even then, I've worked for other food companies who took advantage of me yet again and tried to not pay me what I'm deserving, but want me to do the work because I'm a good worker. I would never in my life put myself in a predicament to ever work for somebody else ever again that does not see my worth and value, because I refuse to keep getting lowballed and shortchanged and nickel and dime because you don't want to pay me. You want to be cheap and you want to keep the money for yourself. I refuse. But that's here nor there. Moving forward, moved to New York. New York was such a beautiful place for me. Such a beautiful place. It was amazing. I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. And not for nothing, it was like a breath of fresh air. I got my sister Snooki. Shout out to Snooki. She brought me to this place called Mr. Biggs, where I love still to this day. She brought me there. I've shared so many experiences with people, from Pride, to just so many different things. The AIDS walk, ballroom, different cultural cultures, the view, the city, the life. It just was like everything that I needed and wanted. And I've been in magazines, I did commercials now. You know, I love living in New York City. It's like been such a refreshing, fresh start for me. Even having to start over from practically nothing but just a place to stay and having money to buy food and stuff like that, and eventually get me a job and starting all over. It just was such an amazing experience. And I'm still growing and learning and, you know, building and making moments and meeting people. And just, I made so many memories. And then 2019 was the best year ever. I went to so many cookouts, parties, balls here on the pier, the Kiki scene, just everything. Like, I just enjoyed New York in 2019. It was so amazing. And then boom, COVID happens. So the year of COVID, I was not able to leave New York City at all. 2020 was the most bittersweet year of my life. Well, one of the most bittersweet years of these 6 years of my life, because I was stuck in my apartment. I couldn't go nowhere. I had no family here. I had friends, but it was COVID, so I really couldn't go anywhere, and nobody really wanted anybody in and out their house. So I spent COVID for the first 4 or 5 months by myself. I got furloughed from my job. January, February, March, April, May. I didn't get my shit till June. So 4 months with no income. I was not able to pay my bills. My rent got backed up. It was just crazy that year. It was horrible. And so, and then that year, you know, I ended up going out of town and doing travel and stuff like that. So I did end up having some good experiences towards the end. I got on Bigo. So Bigo helped me mentally. I got on Bigo probably like a month or two into COVID. I finally got on Bigo and got to be like able to talk to new people and stuff like that. But before that, psychologically, I was by myself, and it was mentally draining, pulling on my spirit, because I was alone for so long. And I'm used to being alone, but it's a different type of alone when you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, and you're just stuck in one space for months and months and months and months at a time. It's a very, very different. And so it just was a lot. And so I ended up having a really good year that year. I went, like I said, I traveled and everything. I ended up like winning balls and walking and stuff like that once balls started happening again. I had a good year. 2021 was a good year. I eventually broke my damn ankle though, and then I was out of work. I learned how to braid better. I got my braiding skills up. Shout out to Magic Fingers, because I used to work there. They helped me build my craft up and taught me how to stitch braid and take my braiding skills to the next level. And then I took what they taught me, and I took that to the next level for myself and kept on going with my craft and things of that nature. 2021 was the year when my sister passed away, which was my ballroom sister. She was one of the people who I started ballroom with. Shout out to my sister, Honey Rodeo. I love you, sister. I love you so much. We had so many memories together. We had so much fun. We've battled down with each other. We've went through the trenches. You was there when I had nothing, when I was nobody, and like I just all of that. And I love you so much, sister, and I miss you dearly. I kind of like just lost a lot of people over the years, within these last 6 years. My grandma passed away due to cancer, but she lived a very long life. The doctor said when she had her stroke when I was a junior in high school, they said she wasn't going to make it. That lady lived 14 years later. Shout out to her. My favorite fucking Gemini. And yeah, so I'm very appreciative of these last 6 years of my life. Recently I had to bury my soulmate, which was probably one of the hardest things I think I have ever done, outside of burying my grandmother and my best friend. And I want to say it was hard because we had this thing where we just always came back, even when we were into it. And I don't know, like, I just never anticipated this being the end. And, you know, I had just won a ball. I was on my way out to celebrate. And I got the phone call, like, that he died. And I just was gagging, like, and at the beginning, I was, like, in denial, like, oh, okay, whatever, like, paying it. And then as it got to set register, it was like, bitch, reality was setting in, like, bitch, this really happened. And for a while, it fucks with me. I didn't take it as hard as I did when my best friend passed away, because they both called each other twin, even though they weren't related. They called each other twins, and they were best friends too. So like my lover, my soulmate, which is my lover, and my baby daddy, which is my best friend, you know, we were all three together all the time, you know. And so to lose both of them, it just, like, it hit different. So it made me feel like this once tripod is now standing alone. And so I kind of just, like, dealt with that. And I went home to go bury. This just happened actually November 2024. 25. No, we're in 25. 2024. November 15, 2024. And so I went home for his funeral and did his makeup and his hair to make sure he went home safely. And I did my grandmother's makeup too. So, like, I was already experiencing, like, with dealing with, like, the deceased and doing their makeup and stuff and their hair. And so, like, it didn't bother me a whole lot. I think my chest didn't start hurting until it was time for us to leave from being with him, to where it was now sinking in that this is it. His funeral service was amazing. His repast service was amazing. We had so much fun, cried, laughed, danced. And it's so crazy too, because when me and him first met, I had not transitioned yet. So he met me met me as Pandora, the GNC vulgar. And so when that whole experience happened, we first battled. I was still a virgin. Like, I really didn't really know all what I was doing. I just had a couple elements. And we battled at the beginning, and it was like instant chemistry. And I'm gonna play the clip for y'all so y'all can actually watch it. And so it was kind of like that for a very long time with us. And so we battled all the time. We will battle regularly. Eventually we ended up living together at one point, before I moved to New York City. And he didn't like me. He liked me at first, but then he stopped liking me because his best friend at the time, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, it just was a lot going on at the time that we was all three living together. And so as time went on, he got to know me better, and we instantly locked in. And it was a very love-hate, toxic relationship, which is one of the main reasons why I don't do toxic relationships now. But what I will say is that it's an experience that I will never forget, and I will always love him, and he will always have a special place in my heart. We went through a lot together. We got into a car accident. I got into a fight over him. We got into a fight. It was hard times when we were together, but we always made it through. I've done so much this year, these last 6 years of my life. My anniversary is coming up, so I wanted to make this video. Well, it's gonna be passing by the time I post this. But I have so much footage from over the years that I want to like kind of post and share and start getting out there, because memories are so important, because they're a part of who we are and where we've gone and where we're headed. And so I want to constantly keep cherishing those said memories and moving forward with life. One thing I want to say most ultimately is that I thank God so much for always being here, always being with me, always getting me through so much, because I've been through so much in my lifetime when it comes to dealing with situations and dealing with people and dealing with spirits and stuff like that. So it's just like I'm very appreciative of being able to say that I am still here and I'm still standing, and no matter what I've been through, I don't allow my experiences of my pain and my traumas to dictate how I treat other people and how I move. And I try to be the best version of myself and treat people how I want to be treated, even if they treat me like shit. Now, if you treat me like shit, after a while, bitch, I'm gonna cut you the fuck off. But in the beginning, you know, I give people fair game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely want to dive deeper into these 6 years and different experiences. I just have to kind of go through my videos and see what's all there, because again, I really want people to know that trans people are people too. Like, not all of us are out here trying to trick you. Not all of us out here are we just want to be ourselves and be comfortable in our skin. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I feel like it's not fair for you to sexualize us or sexualize biological women either. You know what I'm saying? And they get mad at me because you didn't know I was trans, but you view me as a cisgender woman because I look like one, and that's okay. But what's not okay is for you to get mad at me because you didn't because you thought your psyche is not registering that I'm not a man. I don't look like a man, and you don't see a man. You see a woman. So it's not fair that you take that out on us because it hasn't clicked that I'm not looking at her as she's a man. I'm looking at her as because she's a woman now. You get what I'm saying? But I love you guys. I hope this was educational. Like I said, I have so much more to give, so much more to show. And I really want to shed the light on us in a better light, and then not to be so chaotic or messy or misleading, because again, we're all not like that. We're human beings just trying to live our life, just like y'all are trying to live y'all lives. I love you all. Love, peace, and light. And I wish you all well. I'll see you guys soon.